How you doing, guys? How's everybody doing today? Has anybody ever had an altercation with somebody? Could be a friend, co-worker, or whatever. And we all have had an altercation. Generally, it's both sides that could be in the wrong. Both sides could be in the right. The situation escalates. As it is, cooler heads prevail. You admit you were wrong. Person freely forgives you. As the weeks go by, you have another difference with the same person. And the first thing this person may do is bring up the altercation that you had before. So in all honesty, did he really forgive you for that? Because he's still holding it in the back of his mind. I found this very true when I was one of Jehovah's Witnesses. The forgiving thing seemed to be a one-sided coin. Your past is always held against you. This is why I never much got into the judicial committees. It doesn't matter if you are marked, privately reproved, publicly reproved, DF'd, and came back. Your past and your so-called crimes against the organization are still on record. So in all honesty, did Watchtower forgive you? Not if they hold you accountable, they didn't. The other thing is, if you come back, I believe now it's a year is the least amount of time that they have you jumping through hoops. See, if you're disfellowshipped and come back with a letter of reinstatement, it's not like you let right back in. No, you have to jump through hoops, sit there quietly, basically with a dunce cap on your head, for about a year, maybe 2 years, depending on who you are and depending on your standing with the elders at that time. I mean, you could go 5, 10 years jumping through hoops. To my understanding, forgiving is forgiving on the spot. You don't have to prove yourself. But unfortunately, this is the way Watchtower thinks. I think we all know of the YouTuber now, who's been around for a while, you know, the one from Arizona, who feels that we are all persecuting. Oh, by the way, can anybody see demons in my eyes? Because that was pretty damn good seeing if you can see demons in my eyes. But that's what he's saying. This person has taken it upon himself to bash many YouTubers for the last few months. To be honest with you, the only reason he's bashing me is because I called him on it. So apparently I had bruised his ego. Now this is a person who's expecting everybody on YouTube, everybody who's left the organization, to freely forgive the organization and come back without knowing the reasons why it was we left. We all know that your typical JW, and not even all of them anymore, think that this is the truth. They think they are following the Christ. But in all honesty, can you be a follower of Christ when you follow Freemasons? And yes, to this person in Arizona, you do answer to your governing body before you answer to Christ. But this person has judged me. This person has judged Denise Hedberg. This person has judged Amber. This person has judged Candace Conti. I don't know, does he even realize what it says? And I believe it was Matthew 7:1, do not judge or you yourself will be judged. And yet, this person continues to judge. He can't seem to get by this so-called persecution. He believes that myself, Amber, Denise Hedberg, oh, and I want to make something clear to this person in Arizona. Vinnie Vincent and Jude 3 are two different people. I do not do car crashes. It's not my thing. The people that do them well. But no, Jude 3 and Vinnie Vincent are not the same person. But anyways, for some odd reason, he can't seem to get past this Candace Conti thing. He's also been bashing Amber for many months. I was not aware of how long. But for some reason, he thinks he's got the green light to bash women. Being that we're all former Jehovah's Witnesses, unfortunately with their indoctrination, they feel as though they have the green light to harass, bash, badmouth former members. No forgiveness there. See, the forgiveness is all on our part, but not on theirs. Which is another reason I choose not to go back. Nobody ever really transgressed against me in the organization. I just found it to be a complete lie. And I figured since my contract was null and void, since no, it's not a true religion, it is part of the empire of false religion, I tested the expression and it was not inspired. It was just a complete lie. So I chose to leave under my terms. I don't play their games. Yet the forgiveness end is dropped on me. Jehovah's Witnesses have the green light to badmouth me. This person in Arizona has the green light to badmouth anyone who's left the organization without knowing the reasons. He is still blind, unfortunately, to the organization. He believes he's a follower of Christ. He answers to Jehovah, and he's not even aware the name Jehovah is the Masonic name to Lucifer. So, to this person in Arizona, you are answering to the devil himself. You don't answer to the Christ. You don't answer to the Almighty. You are stuck in a false religion that does nothing but fleece its flock for cash, that lies to its members. What organization, if it were the truth, that you're not able to ask any questions, what are they hiding? We all recognize this. We got out. Many people got out. If you haven't noticed, there are many people more and more every day speaking. To compare me, to compare Denise Hedberg, to compare Amber to Judas Iscariot, very bad comparison. That's like comparing the watchtower to the modern day Noah's Ark, because it is not the modern day Noah's Ark. If that were the case, your ark has got a big ass hole in it and is sinking quite fast. I found out that their math is pretty much bad. I mean, how do you explain incredible growth when kingdom halls are closing left and right? Property is being sold, yet Jehovah's Witnesses, some of them are still convinced that this organization is growing. I think Denise Hedberg, just a couple of days ago, uploaded a video on this year's stats as opposed to last. The numbers are going down. As a matter of fact, about the only numbers that are going up at this point in time, basically, are the partakers at the fraudulent memorial. You know, your open rejection of Jesus Christ. But something I would want to point out to this person in Arizona who has come across like a real tool. I mean, bad-mouthing, bashing, cannot seem to get by this. You've got a pretty damn bruised ego, son. And if you think you're a good representation of your organization, I'm pretty well sure that your organization is not happy about it, or you actually are not one of Jehovah's Witnesses, because you don't come across very well at all. But this is a scripture I want to read to you from James chapter 1 in verse 26. If anyone among you thinks he is religious and does not bridle his tongue but deceives his own heart, this one's religion is useless. And to this one in Arizona, this is all you've done. You have titles to your videos, but all you end up doing is bashing others continually. Get over it, move on. You're not being persecuted because of your religious beliefs. If you're being persecuted, okay, it's because you're a complete dick. All right, move on, do what you're going to do. Leave Amber's name out of it. I think I've already told you about that. Leave Denise's name out of it. You can bash me all you want. I don't care. Personally, I think if you and I were face to face, you wouldn't be calling me bandana head. You'd be calling me sir. And least of all, I think you've said enough about Candace Conti. You haven't proved anything. Drop it. Move on. Preach whatever you're going to preach, and just shut the hell up. There's obviously no forgiveness in you, and I've already found out the forgiveness in the org is very one-sided. For my congregation to forgive me, frankly, the fact that I'm doing these videos tells me that no, there's no forgiveness there at all. But I would have to jump through hoops for who knows how long. And the fact that 6 years before I was finally DF'd, I was mocked. I found out what true Christians they really were when I was pretty much on my own. Really didn't have anybody to go out preaching with, although towards the end all they do is stand at carts, and that to me is not preaching. But something I also, to you in Arizona, want to read to you. I want you to put your name in this scripture. And I want you to think of Amber, Denise Hedberg, and Candace Conti while I'm reading this. Darrow. Okay, I mentioned your name. This is at John chapter 8 and verse 7, where it says, "He was without sin among you. Let him throw the stone at her first." Darrow, if you are free of sin, feel free to keep throwing those stones. Oh, that's right. The New World Crap Translation removed that verse. Now I know why. But Darrow, regardless, if you are free of sin, if you are a perfect human being, and to the last I recall, there were only 3 ever perfect humans, and only one remained perfect to death, then feel free, Darrow, to cast the first stone. Anyways, guys, that's all I have today. I just wanted to get that out there. And if you come across this video, hit that notification button, and that'll let you know that I'm out here. Thank you guys for stopping by. I'll talk to you soon.